These are all of my highlighters. This one's probably going to be one of the most difficult to declutter because I do really, really love highlighters. I think last year was the year of highlighters for me. I really discovered a lot of really, really nice formulas that I love, and so it's probably not going to be a ton that I get rid of. Why don't I start with one that I know I'm getting rid of? Definitely this one from Benefit. It's empty. I've used it up. I was just keeping it because I wanted to find a dupe for it. But I have yet to find one, and I don't know if I will find one anytime soon. It's just not something that I want to just keep in my collection because it is empty. It's basically garbage, and I don't know. If I haven't found it in a year of looking, then I'm probably not going to find it anytime soon. So I'm just going to get rid of this and throw it away because it is empty. Another one I'm going to get rid of is this one by ColourPop. It's in the shade Flexitarian. I know a lot of people really love this. I hit pan on it, I repressed it, and like pushed it back in the center, and it's just too much for me. It's honestly just too much. Like, it's a pretty highlighter, it's a gorgeous color, and very, very reflective, but whenever, I don't like using it on my cheeks, and whenever I use it on my collarbones or on my legs, it just turns really glittery and it gets glitter everywhere. I don't know if it's because the formula dried out or what, but I'm just not crazy about this, and I'm not going to force myself to try to use it when I have so many other pretty highlighters in my collection, so I'm going to declutter this one and probably just throw it away because it's pretty old for a cream product. One I am keeping is this one from Becca. It's a little mini of the shade Moonstone, and this one is actually almost finished. I have a pretty big pan in there, and it's a really pretty everyday subtle highlighter. It's actually really pretty for every day, so I wear it to work a lot, and I think it's just enough to add like a healthy sheen to my skin without being too much for the office, so I'm gonna hold on to it and probably eventually use it up. Same with this one from Wet n Wild. I also use this to set my eyeshadow primer and sometimes my under eyes. It's a little more natural looking than the one from Becca. Let me swatch both of them. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see that very well, but this one is Becca and this one is Wet n Wild. And Becca definitely has more of like a sheen to it, and Wet n Wild is kind of just more brightening. And whenever you do blend it out onto the skin, it does leave a really nice healthy sheen. I love both of them for different reasons, so I'm going to keep both of them. This one from Melt Cosmetics is in the shade Stargazer. It's like a golden champagne shade. I think it's so, so pretty. Definitely something you can build up to be pretty reflective. Do I think it's worth the hefty price tag? I don't know. I got it on a discount during IMATS, and even though it is really pretty, I don't know if I could like recommend that you have to run out and buy it, but I do really love this highlighter and I'm going to keep it. Let's talk about some of my pinky highlighters. I'm probably not going to get rid of any of them because I love pink highlighters on my skin. This one from Ofra is Pillow Talk. It's a gorgeous formula, super shiny and reflective, and has a little bit of a pinky undertone, but definitely the lightest of all the pinky ones that I have. I hope the lights are letting you see that. It looks a little bit blown out in the viewfinder, but hopefully you guys can see that. It's really pretty. Just a tiny bit, almost too light for my skin. It definitely gives a little bit more of like a frosty finish on me, just because I think I'm just teetering on being a little bit too dark for this to look natural. I know on some very, very fair people this looks really, really pretty and like blends in with their skin a little bit better and doesn't look as frosty, but still gonna keep it, still love it. This one here from Wet n Wild is in the shade Blossom Glow. It is gorgeous. I've actually almost hit pan on it. I use it a lot. I use it pretty much every day. And this is such a pretty pinky highlight. I love it. I love this formula. I love that they have like 5 or 6 different options depending on your skin tone. So no matter how deep or light you are, you can find something that works for you. Gorgeous, gorgeous highlighter, definitely keeping. So I just did a dupes video a couple days ago, and I was trying to find a dupe for this Makeup Forever highlighter. It's in the shade 01. It's the Pro Light Fusion powder. And this is gorgeous. It's very unique and it has like such a pretty, it's a pink highlighter, but then it has kind of like a purpley pink shift to it as well as silvery white. And it's just very unique in my collection. And someone was like, why didn't you try to dupe it with the Blossom Glow highlighter that you have? And I was like, wow, I didn't even think to swatch them next to each other. So I'm gonna do it now. Blossom Glow seems to be a little bit deeper than that, and it still doesn't have the like actual duochrome shift to it that the Makeup Forever one does. So it's not an exact dupe, but I will show you a couple that I think are close. I think Ofra Pillow Talk is close, and I also think this one here from Laura Gellert's in the shade Charming Pink. This is the Big Gelato Swirl. I think this is very similar to it as well. Similar enough that I don't need both. So I'm going to keep the Laura Geller one and Declutter the Makeup Forever one. Couple more pinky highlighters. This is more of a peachy one. This is the same Big Gelato highlighter from Laura Geller, but it's in the shade Peach Glow. This one has more of a peachy undertone, and I really like this one as well. It's one of the deeper ones that I have, but I still feel like it works really nicely on my skin as a highlight when I'm a little bit more tan, or when I am going for more of like a peachy highlight. This is really pretty, so I'm definitely keeping this one as well. Couple more pinky ones here. I have a palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It says it's the Gleam Kit on the outside, but I actually just pick and chose a couple shades from 2 different kits that work for me, and then all of the deeper highlighters I gave to my friend Hannah, who has a deeper skin tone. So this one is in the shade Hard Candy, and this one is really interesting. It's kind of like a orangey peachy, I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of like an orangey peachy highlighter, and then it has a really pretty hot pink shift to it. It's very unique and really pretty, so definitely holding on to that one. I'm keeping all of these, by the way. I love these glow kits so much. I think I did if I could only keep one tag. I think Kelly Gooch invented a tag, and this shade right here, Crushed Pearl, is like if I had to keep one highlighter at that time, which was like, 6 months ago, it would have been Crushed Pearl. I hadn't purchased any of these really pretty pink highlights that I love yet, so I don't know if my answer would still be that, but at the time it was like one of my top highlighters. This is in the shade Sunburst, and it's a really pretty bright yellow gold. And this is the type of gold that I would wear. I don't wear a ton of gold highlighters on my skin, but I feel like this is still pretty flattering, and I think it's really pretty. Gonna hold on to this one as well. So these bottom 2 I think are from the Gleam palette. This one is Starburst and this one is Crushed Pearl. I really love these as well. Crushed Pearl is gorgeous. They're both gorgeous. I go around and mix and match a lot whenever I'm playing around. So this one right here is Starburst and this one's Crushed Pearl. They're basically the same shade, except for Starburst is a little bit deeper and maybe has a little bit more pink to it. Can you see that? These are gorgeous. Highlighters are really hard to swatch, I'm learning. It's hard for them to show up on screen, but definitely gonna keep everything in this palette. I don't reach for it as much as I should because I kind of get distracted with the pretty single highlighters that I have, but I will make an effort to pull this out more next year. I think it's a really pretty palette. All right, so this one here from NYX, it is the, well, it says on the top, it says Paradise Fluff Ombre Highlighter, and it's in the shade Head in the Clouds. And it's a really, really unique product. I know Kevyn Aucoin came out with these kind of like ombre products. I'm not sure who was the first to ever do it, but I know Kevyn Aucoin had these out quite a while ago. And I remember swatching that one in store and not being really impressed by it, but I saw Tara Babies, is it Tara Babies or Tara? I'm not sure. She is a YouTuber as well, and she did a swatch of these, and it just looks so pretty on her skin tone. I fall into that trap. Every time I see her swatch something, I want to buy it. And so I have to show a lot of constraint whenever I do watch her videos, but this one I couldn't. It's so unique and fun. So it has this gorgeous, gorgeous hot coral pink blush product. Let me swatch this for you. So this is the coral pink blush, very, very bright and fun. And then in the middle, there is kind of like a purpley, kind of a lavendery type of shade. Also really pretty on its own. Then on the edge here, it's kind of just got more of like a champagne silvery highlight. It does have a little bit of like a pinky shift to it, very slight, but individually they're all really pretty. And then when you put them together, let me do a couple different options for you. So say you want to do kind of like a, oh, I'm messing it up, but say you want to do like a toned down blush, you can mix the white and the pink and kind of tone down that blush a little bit. You can create a highlighter that has a little bit of a purple shift to it. And also, probably my favorite part is if you mix the purple and the pink together, you get this really, really unique purpley pink bright blush too. So you can like mix them and get all different types of combinations, and this is just so unique and inspiring to me. I just recently purchased this and I love it. It's so unique and inspiring to me, so I'm definitely holding on to this one. I have 5 highlighters left. I'm definitely keeping the Physicians Formula Warm Nude Strips. These are so pretty. I think I'm about to hit pan on this upper corner right here. I love using mostly these two strips right here. I remember people talked about it a long time back in the day as like a hidden gem at the drugstore, but I don't hear about it as much. I still use this pretty regularly. I think it's a beautiful product, so I'm definitely keeping. As for this product right here, this is the Pure Nude Highlighter from Essence. It's in the shade 10 Be My Highlight. I think they came out with 1 or 2 more shades in this formula. And this is a really pretty formula. It's definitely a super subtle type of highlighter, and it does have a really pretty natural sheen to the skin. I don't know if it's too deep for my skin or if it's like the same color as my skin or what, but this just doesn't really ever give me enough. If I want a subtle natural highlight with a sheen like this, I'm going to reach for the Wet n Wild Preserve Your Cabana product, so I'm going to actually declutter this. This I just purchased from Becca. It is the Berlin Girl Glow Shimmering Skin Perfector. This is one of the newest highlighters to my collection, and I adore this. I can't explain why I love it so much. It's so pretty. It's kind of got like a really pretty, it's got a cool tone sheen to it. I'm gonna explain it the way Kitsch Snitch here on YouTube explained it. She's the reason why I purchased it, and I'm so glad she brought it to my attention, or else I wouldn't have known about it. I think it's a limited edition product, but it is kind of the same color as my skin, and it has like a really pretty shift to it. She said that this has a cool tone shift without being frosty, and I think that's a really great way to describe it. I think it's a really, really pretty highlighter, especially for every day, so I'm definitely gonna hold on to this one. Now for these two, I'm not entirely sure about either of them. This one's from Laura Geller. It's a filter finish setting powder in the shade Universal, so it's not technically a highlighter, but it's like got a multicolor thing going on, and then it just comes off white. It's definitely a cool toned highlighter, and it is really pretty, but I don't really ever reach for this. I need to make a better effort to do that. It's just not something I reach for very often, but I do think it's pretty. So I'm gonna hold on to it and try to make a better effort. Maybe I'll put this in my makeup basket next month and see if I don't enjoy it more. It's something I used to really like, and then I kind of forgot about it a little bit. It's just a risky run whenever you have a larger makeup collection. So I'm gonna hold on to it, but it's kind of like on probation at the moment. And lastly, I have the Mary Lou-manizer by the Balm. I actually hit pan on this. This used to be one of the only highlights I owned, and I think that's why I hit pan on it, because I didn't have any other highlighters. This one is like a really pretty goldy champagne shade. It has like a little bit of a yellowness to it. This, I feel like every time I put it on, it's just so much though. It's like too much, if that even is possible. So this one is also gonna go on probation. I'm gonna try to use a little bit more. I think I just really don't wanna wear it to work. I think it's just so much. When I look in the mirror in my like bathroom office, my office bathroom, it's always just like, wow, there's so much going on my face right now. But maybe I just need to tone it down and not put so much on, because it is a good product. There's a reason why it's a cult classic. So both of these are on probation. I'm gonna give them both a shot again. And if I don't love them as much as I used to, then I will declutter them, but maybe I'll fall back in love with them again, who knows. So these are all of the highlighters I'm keeping, and these are the ones I'm decluttering. I thought I would do a tiny bit better, but I do have a couple highlighters that are on probation that I'm gonna try a little bit more and see if they are worth keeping. If they're not, I'll declutter them. But I'm happy. I love highlighters, and I don't mind having so many choices to choose from. So this is my highlighter declutter.